Now, Congressman Adam Smith, Democrat from Washington. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. And by that, I mean Washington State.
Yes.
I think you may agree with the vice president that at least in one sense, the American people are being held hostage. So which party lets them out of that hostage situation?
Yeah, well, there's a fundamental misunderstanding because J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, no Republican was willing to negotiate with any Democrats on October 1st about the health care crisis that was coming and is now upon us. November 1st, everyone's health care goes up and millions more will see their health care raised. They were not willing to talk about it. Instead, they expected us to vote to continue basically the Trump budget without dealing with it. And we were desperately trying over the course of the last 28 days to get the Republicans to address the health care crisis that is coming. We have other issues that we're concerned about their budget, but that's number one. And in that period of time, they refused to negotiate, refused to have that conversation. Instead, what they've tried to do is maximize the pain on the American people. There is a contingency fund that Congress approved with billions of dollars in it to pay SNAP benefits in just this sort of situation. President Trump is refusing to use it, and he's doing it to try to leverage Democrats to inflict pain upon the American people. But that's wrong, in my view. Now, look, in the next couple of days, if Republicans continue to show that all they're interested in is scoring political points by inflicting pain upon the American people, then, yeah, we're going to have a conversation about what do we do about that. But they should have addressed this issue in the first place, and they should have been negotiating with us.
A couple things just in terms of pain. I mean, I think every president who's been faced with a shutdown has tried to make a point, right? And you think about Barack Obama, it's not the same thing, but in 2013, he tried to make the shutdown painful. It was, you know, they were putting up barricades around, monuments in D.C. to make the point that the government is shut down. But I think you make a good point in terms of negotiating. You guys were trying to get Republicans to negotiate by keeping the government shut down. This is Barack Obama 2013. Take a listen.
I've said I'm happy to negotiate with you on anything. I don't think any one party has a monopoly on wisdom, but you don't negotiate by putting a gun to the other person's head. Or worse yet, by putting a gun to the American people's head by threatening a shutdown.
You're going to say what's made a difference is that somehow Trump is trying to make it more
Don't
painful.
guess what I'm going to say. I can tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that this health care crisis was coming on November 1st. What the Republicans back in 2013 wanted was a repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Okay, well, you can negotiate that, but you can negotiate that next week, 2 months from now, whenever. The reason this mattered, the reason the timing mattered so much in this issue is because the Affordable Care Act tax credits have gone away and November 1st is coming. So it's an entirely different situation. You know, that's why this mattered so much.
Okay, so you said that if Republicans remain intransigent, in your words, that Democrats in the next couple of days are going to have to start having a conversation.
We've already started having a conversation.
You already started having it, but I want to play this. This is from Fox 13 in Seattle, talking to a grandmother raising 2 teenagers on SNAP benefits. Take a listen.
They eat you out of house and home. Every time I turn around, they in the kitchen eating. And they talk about shutting down the food stamps 6 months. They're going to hurt us. That's because for me to go to the store and spend regular money, we can't do it. We can't afford it.
So with that in mind, we talked to a woman who runs a food bank yesterday who said that she's already telling people that she's out of food.
Yeah, there's no argument. There is no argument.
So what is it? So do Democrats basically just say, okay, we've made our point for 30 days, and you're going to have a dozen Democratic senators defect, for lack of a better term?
Well, first of all, there is no argument that cutting off the SNAP benefits is terrible. And I do want to circle back to the point that President Trump could fix that right now. He has the money. We gave him the money.
They'll disagree with that, but go ahead. Neither here nor there.
Let's say he doesn't.
Okay, let's say he doesn't do it. Okay, let's say he doesn't do it.
They have the money. They could do it. They're choosing not to.
What do Democrats do? I mean, do Democrats say it's more important to have people go hungry so we can try to make a point on health care, or Democrats have to be the ones to reopen the government?
Sorry, we're not trying to make a point on health care as if we're in some sort of debating society. Millions of people are going to lose health care insurance, all right? Millions more are going to see their costs go up to a very, very high level. All right? So this isn't some political argument. We're just trying to make a point. We're talking about a substantive impact. I'll tell you what, go out and do an interview with all those people who are going to lose their health care insurance and see their costs go up. See what they have to say, because that's going to matter too. Now, as I said, we Democrats, we're not about inflicting pain on the American people to score political points. So yes, it's October 30th. Tomorrow's October 31st, and there we are. And if Trump and the Republicans do this, yeah, we're going to have a conversation about how we fix what they won't fix. And it is an improvement.
So what does that conversation look like?
It is an improvement that J.D. Vance is finally saying that he's willing to negotiate, because that's not where they were on October 1st. That is an improvement. That conversation looks like some sort of discussion. Okay, you're willing to negotiate. At least tell us what the 4 or 5 things that you're willing to negotiate on. And I, as a Democrat, I'm not insisting on the exact plan for the Affordable Care Act that we put out in our continuing resolution to keep the government open. But let's have a conversation about it. If they're willing to have a conversation about it, what I think probably happens is the Senate has that conversation and says, okay, here's the things that we need to deal with. By the way, we also need to deal with the fact that Donald Trump seems to think that he can spend the money wherever he wants. So even if Congress approves it, he's out there cutting transportation projects, energy projects, going on TV and saying, I'm going to target Democratic states to punish them.
Yeah,
so we're going to have to deal with that,
also see
too.
Okay, fair enough. We'll also see if Trump cuts a deal with Chuck Schumer now that he's back and puts Republicans in the Senate.
That may well happen.
I've heard that plan, too. Congressman Adam Smith, as always, we appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me the chance.